Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to take a look at a really cool brushed drone. And I don't always say, oh, this is really cool, you know, because when you've viewed as many of these toys as I have, you know, it takes something special to really get you excited. And this drone is really, really good. It's brushed motors, but it's powered by a 2S LiPo, which I'll show you here in a little bit. And it's really fast and really powerful, and it has a really good flight time. Let me move the drone over here so I can show you guys the box, because on the box, Amcrest is who makes this drone. So it's an Amcrest Skyview Pro, and this drone, they have a lot of the information here. They have 720p at 30 frames per second, up to a 32 gigabyte SD card, because that's an SD card slot. And it has 984 feet range, so they use the Imperial system, which is nice. If you're in the United States, that helps out to give you an idea on the range, because sometimes some of us, including myself, it's a little harder to gauge metric when you're not used to using it. And a 20-minute flight time, and I can tell you that is spot on. Usually these flight times on these toys are way exaggerated, not the case with this drone. Really nice. So this is the Amcrest Skyview Pro. The model number on this is the A6-B. I've never seen this drone before, so I'm not sure, you know, if this is a rebrand or if this is an original drone by Amcrest, but it's fantastic. Here's your camera, again 720p at 30 frames per second. It does have an SD card, micro SD card slot here in the back. Now, unfortunately, mine does not work, and that's kind of a bummer. I put it in, sometimes I can get some dummy files, but I can't get it to write any data, and I've tried 2 different cards, so I don't know what's up with that. Brian over at True Drone Review said his worked just fine, so it's probably just an isolated incident maybe with my drone, but I can't say for sure, you know. Anyway, there's your Wi-Fi FPV antenna. This is just 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi FPV, but it transmits back to the Amcrest app, and the Amcrest Skyview app still lets you record to your phone. So I'm able to get in the flight review, I'll be able to show you guys some flight footage. It's just going to come from my phone. It's still pretty good. There is some jello wobble. It's not a ton, and the camera, you know, the camera's decent. It's for a toy grade. It's nothing special, but what makes this drone so good is just the way it flies. It's so much pitch and fast, and does funnels and that long flight time that I didn't really care about the camera. If you take this camera off, because it comes detached, you have to attach it, just plug in a little like, I don't know, 5 or 6 pin connector under here, and then just twist this on. You know, you're adding weight and you're powering the camera. And David over at Perth West Styles RC got 22 minutes with his without the camera attached, so you get an even extra 2 minutes. It flies so long that, you know, it almost flies too long, so I'm getting at. It's really, really good. You have to just snap this landing gear in when you get it, and like I said, away you go on that. And let's go ahead and we'll look now at the battery. Here is this big 2S LiPo, and this thing is just really powerful. This is a 7.4 volt, so it's 2S, 1600 milliamp. This is advertised at taking 3 hours to charge, and I believe it, because you're gonna charge it off the micro USB here on the front. There are indicator lights, as you can see here. I'm down to just 1 because this is after I've already done the flight review. It will blink and fill up until it gets to all 4, and then, yeah, I believe they go out whenever it's completely done, but, or maybe it was all 4 solid green. That may have been all 4 solid green, but it's an impressive flight time. And with 2S LiPo, you don't see that on brushed quads that much. It really is it's really powerful. I'm super impressed for a toy to fly this way. Let's go ahead and throw the battery into the drone so you guys can see the lights. It'll do a little, I think, a little startup thing here. Let's hold it in. A little music, and you got red lights in the rear, and you got white lights in the front for your orientation. And they don't, you know, they're not, you know, super easy to see during the daytime, but I didn't have any problems with the orientation, so just unplug or just press it in to power it down there. And again, the lights will go down as you're flying, so it gives you an idea where you are in battery power, you know. And when it gets down to 1, then you're getting close to the LVC because you know the lights will flash and stuff and let you know that the battery is low. You also get prop guards if you want to use those. That's going to obviously reduce flight time a little bit. I wouldn't use those outside, especially with this big drone. There's really no reason to, especially with them giving you a full set of props. And then there is your Phillips screwdriver. It wouldn't be a drone without one of those, a toy drone at least. And then there's your micro USB cable to plug in if you need one to charge up that big battery. And here is the controller. It's quite nice. Your phone fits right in here. Just pull it out and clip your phone in there. And then connect to the Wi-Fi if you want to watch, you know, the Wi-Fi feed, or you want to record that, or in my case, record it, because unfortunately my micro SD card does not work. Here's your pitch and roll trim. This light here will flash whenever you start recording. What you do is a quick press as photos, and the app will make a shutter sound when you take a photo, which is nice, so you know when it's taking it. There's a bit of a delay because it's over Wi-Fi. And a long press and it'll beep, and then it'll start recording, and the app will show you a red symbol, a red dot, and then a time of recording. And then this will light up and let you know you're recording as well. This is just your power indicator over here. I don't have any batteries in it right now, I'll show you. And then here is your yaw trim, and then right here, this is actually not a throttle trim. This is your camera tilt, and I didn't mention that yet, but the camera is motorized in this little guy. And let me show you that. You'll hear it probably. It's got a little servo in there, a little motor that lets you manually or remotely, I should say, adjust that camera so you can look down or all the way up without having to land it and, you know, manually adjust it yourself. So to do that, you just press up and down on the throttle trim, and it will, you'll see it in your Wi-Fi FPV. You'll see the camera, you know, tilting down and back up. Of course, it's jerky. It's not smooth. It's not a brushless, you know, really, it's a little servo in there, so you get the point. A long press on this top one, the same one as, you know, the throttle trim, it was traditionally what this would be called. The long press on this, though, will go to headless mode, and then a long press on the down trim would be your one key return. So just a quick press will do the gimbal camera adjustment on it. And then this button here is your auto, well, this is your auto unlock. It doesn't actually take off on this one. You press it, the motors will unlock and spin. You have to give it throttle to actually take off. And then if you press this, it'll do auto landing, and it lands really, really well. You have the altitude hold, but that doesn't affect it too much. It's still really sporty. And then you've got your, this one right here, I want to double check it. I believe this is your rates. It's got 3 rates on it, and it'll beep as you cycle through them. And this is a, you know, it's really sporty. The yaw increases, and boy, even the lowest rate is fine for a casual flyer. But you get to the high rate, this thing is just books. It's like if the Bugs 3 was brushed and not brushless, it'd be this drone. And then the pressing in on the right stick will do your 360 flips in the direction you want to flip. And for a drone of this size, it flips one. I mean, I'm telling you, it's the best flipper I've seen of a drone this size. It flips really, really good. This is a great drone. It really is. Even though mine has a defective SD card slot, it's awesome. You know, it really is. If you look at other reviews, I know Brian loved it over at True Drone Reviews, and I think he had some Wi-Fi lag, I thought, in his or something, but I didn't notice anything. It's super responsive. I have no delays. I can stay connected to the Wi-Fi the whole time. Sometimes these drones, you need to disconnect the Wi-Fi if you know, and just go without the FPV feed because maybe there's control lag. I've seen that before. This one doesn't have it, for me at least. All right, guys, I think I got everything covered. I do believe that the gyro calibration I was going to mention as well, and that was, this drone, I believe, is down to the left is your gyro calibration on this guy. And if you need to do that, and yeah, that should be everything. So, you know, I think here's your on and off switch here, and then it takes, I believe it took, I got it closed out. I think it was 4 AAA batteries. Amcrest uses this controller with all their drones, at least all the ones that I've reviewed. I've got 3 of them, so. All right, yeah, that covers everything on this drone. It's fantastic. I go over a lot of this during the flight review because it's 20 minutes. Got 20 minutes and 15 seconds to flight time out of this. I calculated during the review. That's awesome. Spot on. 22 is what you probably can expect without the camera. And again, about 3 hours to charge that big beefy battery off USB. Obviously, you got to buy extras from Amcrest because it is proprietary. All right, guys, that wraps up the table review portion for the Amcrest Skyview Pro. Let's move along outside now for that really long flight review. All right, guys, let's take the Skyview Pro out now for its test flight. This is just a really awesome drone, a big 2S LiPo. You know, it gets a really nice long flight time. I haven't got an exact one for myself yet, but my buddy David down at Perth West Oz RC, he didn't have his camera attached, and he got 22 minutes. So I don't expect to get that because we're powering the camera today, you know, and extra weight of the camera. So even if it got 18 minutes, that would be really, really awesome. Now, of course, this also has a motorized camera I'll try to test out. You know, it does really good 3D flips and funnels. You know, it's really powerful in the 2S. The only problem is mine has, you know, a bad SD card in here. So we'll have to see. I'll be able to record the footage to the app, but mine doesn't want to record to the SD card. I've tried 2 different cards and I can't get any video saved. So unfortunately, over the Wi-Fi, we'll probably lose some frames or frozen frames, so it won't be as good, but you'll still be able to see how the camera works. I just don't know what's wrong with the SD card slot in mine. So I've already got it connected to the controller, and I have it connected to my phone. So let's go ahead and I'm going to set the drone down here, and we're just going to go ahead and start up the Amcrest Skyview app. This uses, I believe, the same app as even their little ones use. And just go ahead and press on fly, and there we go. We got the table. I got it sitting on. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the controls. So since I'm using the controller, I don't need that. And what I want to do is I want to take it up and we'll get some photos first, and then after we get some photos, then we will go ahead and land it and get some video recorded. So let's go ahead and get some photos first, since those are not going to be affected by the lack of the SD card working. So let's go ahead and we'll take it up now. So I think I might just take it off the top of my grill here, which is pretty level. Make sure the props don't hit anything here, and I'll stand back so you guys can see. The gyro calibration is both sticks down to the left, and the lights on top are flashing. The green lights that hopefully is showing up my camera there, those are the battery indicators, and those will actually change as you're charging. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do an auto takeoff here, and we'll go up and we'll get some photos. You have to go ahead and give it throttle. It just unlocks the props like a lot of the other ones. Not all of them will do the auto takeoffs. It'll auto land, and auto land's really nice. Look at that. That is really smooth. That's just low rate. You press in on the you can press it on the left stick. Yeah, that's your rates. That's the middle rate. And there's your higher rate. You can see the yaw increases. I'll go back and show you guys again. There's low rate, middle rate, and high rate. All right, let's see if we can get a few photos here. I'm gonna turn it around and just do a quick press on the upper right bumper. Get a few pictures of me. Let's take it up over here and just do a picture off into the distance here. And do one. All right, we got 3 photos taken. That should be enough. There is some jello wobble in the video. I can see it in the FPV feed. It's not terrible though. I've seen much worse, but it's not jello free. Those big brush motors on a 2S LiPo, it's really not surprising that there is some jello. So let's go ahead, before we start the video, let's just do some 360 flips. We've got plenty of flight time here, so it's not like we should be in a rush. Let's just go ahead and press in on the right stick. And it flips great. I mean, honestly, for a brush drone that size, you cannot ask for a better 360 flipper. I mean, look at that. Just about took out a butterfly. I mean, it's just, it doesn't lose altitude. It's just super smooth. This is a super brushed drone. I mean, I cannot say anything bad about it. The only problem, of course, is my SD card not working. And I know Brian over at True Drone Reviews said his SD card worked fine. So, I don't know. All right. Let's go ahead and land it here, and I want to get some video recorded. So let's just do the auto landing. See, it lands really, really nice. All right, let's go ahead and let's do a long press here. And I want to show you guys how the camera tilts. And now we got recording here. It's showing up on the app, and we got 4 or 5 seconds in. And that's, of course, like I said, just saving to my phone gallery. Unlock the props by pressing the upper left bumper and then give it throttle. We're still in the highest rate, I believe. Yeah. Man, it just flies awesome. I'm not sure that I've had a brushed 2S LiPo powered drone that flies this good. The closest I could think would be the SEMA X8Cs, but they're a little bit bigger. And I don't think they're not this sporty. Though it's been a long time since I've flown an X8C. Let's do that camera tilt now. I'm going to turn it around and we'll face it towards me here. Let's take it up. And you just use the, it's getting a little bit of wind here moving. You just use the throttle, what would be the throttle trim to do that. So you just press it down. And you can tilt it down there, as you can see. It's getting moved around a little bit on me here because obviously it doesn't have any kind of position hold. This is a full manual flyer that just has altitude hold. So let's tilt it back up. Let me give it a little bit of a trim here. Just trim it up a little bit. I had it trimmed the other day, but that was to compensate for a much stiffer breeze than today. Let's take it up here and have it look straight down, as far as it can at least, down over my pool. So you can see it looks pretty much straight down. There we go. That's pretty cool. I can see some jello wobble in it. It's pretty stable right now. I'm going to give it a little bit of trim. All right, let's go ahead and aim it back up here. Because really, unless you're going to try to film the top of your roof or over a party of people, you know, not a party of people, but, you know, a group of people standing or something, waving up your drone or something like that. I mean, really, facing down is not as important because it's hard to tell where you're going, especially if you're going to try to use the FPV feed at all. You can't see where you're going, so. But the tilt is nice because, man, these ones, so many of them, almost all the toys, and I still consider this a toy, just have a manual tilt, and you have to do that with your fingers. You take it up in the air, and then you know, you realize, oh man, I want to look on top of the house and see if that frisbee's still up there. Well, you got to land, and then you got to adjust the tilt, and then take it back up. Well, not with this drone. You've got the motorized tilt right at your fingertips, and that's a huge plus. So let's see, what else can we test here? I'm not a big headless mode guy or one key return. I don't typically test those. You know, I mean, some people do, that's fine. I don't think there's something you want to use. Headless mode is just not something you can learn to fly with. It's for an absolute beginner, and a beginner shouldn't be trying to fly this drone. One key return, I mean, that's okay, but I mean, it gets confused quite easily and you end up with the drone flying the wrong direction, especially if you fly it behind you. It's just going to fly farther away from you. I don't remember the range on this offhand. I've not done the table review on this yet, guys. That's why I covered quite a bit there during the beginning. I'm going to film that tomorrow when I get my new tripod in so I can get my camera a little higher than what I've been filming down with my existing tripod, which is only maybe about, I think it's like a 40-inch, and I got a 55-inch coming. So we should be able to get a little better overhead shot on this. So but anyway, I don't remember what the range on this is. I don't like to push these toys too far because you know, they're gonna probably just drop out of the sky. They do that, and then you end up you know, you don't want to fall on something. The GPS will at least stay in the sky and fly back. So that's about as far as I like to try to push these full manual non-GPS flyers up there, just to the edge of the 2 lots over from me here. So we've got closed in on 5 minutes of video there, and of course we had all the flight time before that. I'll try to compensate for the landing there, I did, to take that out, to try to calculate the total flight time. But the fact David got 22 minutes without the cameras, waiting, without being powered, you know, I would hoping if we can get 18, that's darn good. Amcrest advertises 20. They seem pretty good on their info though, so it's possible we could get 20. I mean, most of the manufacturers exaggerate it. Amcrest actually has pretty good info. I mean, the Skylight drone, that one for me flew over 8 minutes and it was only advertised at 7. So, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see what we get here. I didn't comment much on the Wi-Fi feed here. It looks like it's frozen right now, which means they probably are getting frozen video. So let's go ahead and see if we can stop that. You know, that happens. I don't like it, but let's go ahead and land it. We'll make it a little easier to sync it up. Hopefully I can reestablish that. I don't know at one point that froze. I don't look at the video feed a ton while I'm flying, but I can see we've got a frozen video feed. So let's go ahead and do a long press and see if that stops it. Now it's still blinking. So, all right guys, what I got a bit of an app issue. I think it could be all the issues with my phone. I got another phone call coming in, so let me it won't really affect the flight time having it sit here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my airplane mode and reconnect the app, and we'll see if we can get some more video, because I don't know at what point that froze. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I got it reconnected up here. Just the app froze. I did get some video, so obviously you probably were seeing it already here in the video. I didn't know. So we got it going. I'm going to go ahead and start recording video again, and we'll take it up. It's probably all these phone calls coming in. But anyway, I got airplane mode turned on now. So let's go ahead and do a long press. And we got video recording, because the app would just kept going and think it was recording, and it was on the frozen feed. But we did get video though, so that's good. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll unlock the props anyway. I think you can also do, you know, down and in. We'll just do just the same as pressing the button and go ahead and take off. Oh, I love those flips. I'm in the lowest rate now, I think. Let me see. No, there we are. That's the lowest rate. It's still not bad on lowest rate. Intermediate rate again, and higher rate, in case you missed that earlier, guys. I like it in highest rate. It's just so sporty. If you're a beginner though, because of the power of this on 2S, you definitely want to probably stick with the beginner or the intermediate, because even a beginner, it's got enough power that it's not going to blow away on you unless you're trying to fly in ridiculous conditions, which, you know, if you're doing that, even the highest rate probably won't be able to cut it. Man, it's fast. Like I said, we'll try to calculate the total flight time there. I'll have to take into account that landing there to reconnect the app. I'm not ready to fault the app there as much as I think all these phone calls and stuff. I should have turned on airplane mode and turned off a lot of the stuff on my phone, because it's annoying me, and I think that may have hosed up the app. The app, though, otherwise it's been pretty stable for me. I did have it crash the first time I started it, but again, with so many versions of Android out there, this is stock Android, but you know, you're going to have that happen. Things crash. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's something wrong with the app, as long as it doesn't do it a lot. Yeah, this is nice. It's not super fast to go up because, you know, it's altitude hold, just in coming down, but it's not bad. Let's just kind of do a quick, got the camera all the way up. I want to verify that. Let's just do a quick spin here as I'll try to hold this position. It's kind of hard to do that because it doesn't have any kind of GPS or anything, so it wants to get in any kind of wind and end up flying around on you as you're trying to do a yaw. And I don't, that was pretty quick, but it's trying to do a slow yaw turn with any kind of wind on a manual flyer like this is not easy. I try to do one right there, but it's just, as you see, it's flying back towards me because the wind's, the slight breeze is still taking it. Yeah, there's not a whole lot else to say, guys. I mean, I feel like we just want to get an idea on the flight time here. I don't usually fast forward in videos and stuff like that. I like to just leave it in so people can watch as much as they wish. So I'm sure a lot of you guys will be fast forwarding to the end, maybe to see the flight time total. That's totally fine. And I'm sure a lot of people probably don't even watch the table of views very much and skip ahead to the flight, because let's face it, that's the part people really want to see. But it's still important to see what comes with it and all the specs, because you know, it's what you're paying for. And but we all, at the end of the day, we want to see how it flies. That's most important. But you'd be surprised how many questions you get when you run a channel like this. Some people ask you questions that well, you answered that in the table review and they didn't watch the table review. That could be a little bit annoying, because like, well, you know what, if you just watch the table review you would see that. But I usually try to answer it anyway. Some people don't have the time. Maybe they're busy on lunch break or something, they don't have time to watch a 20-minute video, and I get it. I know my videos tend to be a little long. Now this one's understandable, like I said, because this is advertised at a 20-minute flyer, so this video probably will run over half an hour after the table review. Unless I decide to edit out some of the flight, which I might do. I mean, we can just simply chop out some video if I decide to, and skip to the end and let you know the flight time. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, so if I do, I'll certainly put a note in here in the video to let you guys know that I took out some flight time just to conserve, to shorten the length of the video. So I've never done that before though, so it's not likely, but I might decide to. It kind of depends on that table review. The table review ends up being 15 minutes, then well, and then we got probably too long of a video for a toy brush drone. I usually don't get too far north of half an hour unless I've got a really advanced GPS drone. So we got over 5 minutes of video there, and we had at least 5. I mean, we should be getting down to where we might be getting some sort of a low battery indicator. So I did test fly this, but I didn't obviously fly it down that far. With this really big 2S LiPo on a USB charger, it does take, like, it's advertised at 3 hours. So when I was test flying, I didn't want to actually run it all the way down for that reason. I typically don't do that, but this battery is just so big. But I think David said he had a 4-minute LVC, which is really long. So we'll see what kind of LVC we get. I don't recall if it's going to beep at me like the other ones on the controller, or if it's just flashing lights. I think it may beep. Let's see what kind of lights we have. We're down to 1 green light here, so we should be getting LVC soon. I still have solid lights on the there, and I think that's a flashing one in the rear. The red flashing light in the rear means we've got we're recording. So that's me trimming it there, the beeping. Okay, I think that's enough video, guys. We got 2 video clips, photos. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording. That way, there we go, and it stopped. The app's still running fine. No, nothing frozen up this time. All right, guys, so that was the end of the flight. We'll get the flight time for this. It auto landed there. That's why I was keeping it close. It was a pretty quick coming down, but you have so much time You got the one green light here flashing, and we got the white and the red lights flashing. So it's a super low battery, but man, is that a long flight time for a toy drone on brushed motors. I'm super impressed with the flight time, even if I don't know what that was. You know, obviously we'll put that up on the screen here, but super impressed with the flight time of this drone. Really, really good. This is going to the top of my list of brushed flying drones, just to the way it flies. Honestly, I don't really care about the SD card that much because I can still get video to my phone because it just flies so good. In fact, if you just want to fly line of sight, just take the camera off. It comes with it not installed. You have to just plug it in and snap it in. So then you're going to probably add, you know, several minutes flight time, I think, to this by adding that weight, and you're also not powering up the drone. So super drone. I don't know if this is exclusive to Amcrest. Most of these Amazon sellers are rebranding stuff. I've never seen this one before. Again, I'm just super impressed. This is the top of my list. If you're going to put budget, fun, flying, powerful drones, this is the top of my list of the brushed 2S ones, and the Bugs 3 would be the top of the list of the budget brushless drones. All right, guys, well, that should wrap up this long video. Be sure to check out a link to this. I'll put it down in the description in case you're interested in this. And also subscribe to the channel, of course, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see. Press the subscribe button and then press the bell too, so that you know when I upload new videos, because my goodness, it's easy to subscribe and miss 10 videos because you didn't get notifications. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.